Hope you're ready for this.
Gonna be fun.
You will not stand in my way.
Frostborn. Hunger. This pleases me.
I do not fear you, mortal.
Your soul shall be mine.
Don't make me laugh.
Need a brew? Oh, I do. Feel a shredding, baby. Let the battle begin.
Hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to episode 98 of the Nexus Trolls, a podcast about Heroes of the Storm and part of the Trolls.gg Entertainment Network. I am your host, Soken, and today I am joined by my glorious companions, GOONHOTS and Aurumis. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good. How is Goon? How is it going between seasons right now? Are you bored without scrims going on every day? What are you doing to pass the time?
Am I bored? There's definitely a vacuum of time that is not filled with scrim. Nah, I'm utilizing that time to do real life stuff, right? I've been able to do more real life things, more errands, more fixing my car today.
Yeah.
I had a new stove and oven installed today. But being able to do a bunch of other, like, house duties and whatnot. So it kind of pulling away from Hot's world and shit, and being able to come back to reality, so to speak. It's been nice.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and then you can get everything prepared for when HGC comes back, and then you gotta focus on that again. What about you, Aurumis?
Just doing school. Got an exam back today. Got a 95.
Woohoo!
That's okay. Class average was a lot lower than 95. Made me feel good. So, overall, pretty successful day. Yeah, just coaching the team, watching scrims now. This is wonderful. So, we're doing two things at once. But, it's looking good. I'm excited for the open season.
Are you allowed to mention anything about the team yet, or like, is there anything you can kind of announce here, or?
Shot's gonna be on the team. I'm gonna coach it.
Okay.
We got 4 players. We will be offering some of them spots shortly.
Cool.
So yeah, we have a pretty good idea. We're still looking for tryouts in other positions. But yeah, hopefully within a week or so we'll have a little bit of news and a name, and I'll keep everybody updated in the loop. But
Cool. Sounds
right now
good.
we're looking good. We're opening up. So I'm excited for the season for sure.
Cool. For all the viewers and listeners out there, just to give you guys a little heads up of the schedule for the next couple of weeks. So next Thursday will be our last podcast before BlizzCon. We will be podcasting next week, unlike a lot of people. So you can find our content here for you to enjoy. And then we will be taking that Thursday of BlizzCon off to enjoy BlizzCon. All of us will actually be at BlizzCon this year. And then the following week...
Live stream.
What's up?
Live stream from the floor.
Yeah, we could maybe live
Nobody's
stream
gonna pay attention because HGC's on.
And then, and then when we come back, we'll discuss our experiences at BlizzCon. We'll talk about everything that was announced. We may even do like an earlier stream that following week, maybe on the following Tuesday or so, something along those lines. We'll get back to you on that, but just to let you guys know what's going on there. So with that said, let me talk about Patreon real quick. So patreon.com/trollsgg. The Trolls.gg Patreon is a shared Patreon with the Nexus Trolls and all the Trolls.gg content creators. You can join the Troll Army by donating $1 a month and earn access to our show notes, as well as acquire priority in after-show viewer games and any call-in episodes. At $10 a month, you reach the Chieftain status. You'll get all the previous rewards, plus a special shout-out at the end of each show. We also added a brand new exclusive Patreon tier, the War Chiefs. There are only 5 people allowed in the War Chief position at $20 per month. You will have access to the most exclusive rewards. And basically that is the patron-only gift card drawing. So once we hit $125 a month, we will unlock the patron-only gift card drawing. We will find out who gets that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you really are interested in supporting the show, this is the best way to do that for us. So any help, any support, really appreciated. Thank you. Also to all of our patrons in general. Oh shoot, hold on one second here. I always forget this. All right. With that said, let's go into the news.
Someday, this will make a great story.
All right. So the first thing on the news, pretty big announcement on Reddit by the Heroes Share team. So the Heroes Share team, they started off as somewhat of a kind of a replay repository, kind of like HOTS logs and whatnot. And I would see like the Trolls Share bot in specific channels monitoring those certain streams and like saying like, oh, these streamers were in your games, and it's kind of a cool little thing they got going. And then they've just recently extended that even further with a HOTS or a Heroes Share overlay for Twitch. So what that is basically an extension that you can install for your channel, which means viewers can access stats about the game that's currently in progress. So like for instance, like you go to like a Hearthstone channel, you know, almost all of the Hearthstone channels have, I don't know what the mod is, but it's a mod that basically lets you look, literally you can hover your cursor over a card and it'll tell you the stats on those cards. Like it'll pop up with like a bigger version of that card, and tell you other things like what cards are yet to be drawn, things like that. This is along a similar line that allows users to be a little more interactive with the game that's currently happening, which is pretty cool.
So like instead of just like watching it, you can actually like look at talents and the stats and like it's more, like you said, it's more engaging. Doesn't League also have this? I
do not know. I don't watch. Okay. I tried watching League and I was just like, damn, I do not know anything about this game. I can't. Like, I'd have to put some actual effort into learning it. So, do you know, Armis, if League has something like that?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Well, anyway, this is a big step forward. Pretty nice that someone actually did something like this. This can help bring a lot of education to the community, and it also actually reduces a lot of the annoying questions from, I don't want to say annoying, but you know what I mean? Like, it ends up being annoying. The questions from the chat, what did you choose at 7? I can't see. It's like, okay, hold on, just click on the button. You'll see there, it's fine. So you know, the streamers can actually focus on streaming. The streamers can actually focus on streaming and answering other questions that are a little more complicated and whatnot. So that's nice. I put a link in the show notes for you guys. It's their Reddit announcement. Not much really going on other than that. I just kind of wanted to bring it up in case anyone was interested. Goon, I think you remember. I remember you saying something about it being. Is there pay going on? Like how?
Yeah. So I tried to set it up on my Twitch. I added the extension and stuff, but then like there's like a disclaimer at the bottom. It's like only accessible through premium members or something like that. So you gotta like pay for it.
Okay.
I think I haven't been able to like look at it on my stream or anything like that. I'll have to test it out and see.
Got you. I haven't tested this out myself yet, so for me, I'm not fully sure. But just keep in mind, with that said, everyone, that there could be some pay involved. Not fully sure. Don't take our word for it just yet. Could be some kind of mess up or something, but yeah. All right, moving on. A bigger announcement here. This is probably the biggest announcement of the whole cast, to be honest. Alan Dabiri, the game director for HOTS, actually stepped down. I think it was last week, actually. It was like towards the end of last week.
Yeah.
It says, when was this posted? October 12th.
6 days ago.
Yeah, so last Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So right after our cast last week, Alan Dabiri posted a whole message about, hey, this is my experience at Blizzard. This is what I've done in HOTS. This is the progress we've made, and thank you guys for everything. Blah blah blah. You know, so there's actually been a decent amount of people. You know, this all started at Dustin Browder, right? Dustin Browder was kind of the first person to take that role, and he ended up stepping away for a project that we don't know about. Now Alan DeBerry is doing the same thing. We don't know who's going to replace him yet. Is there? Let's see. I mean, there's some theories going around. What do you guys think is kind of the thing, this thing in the background that people are moving to?
Some Blizzard battle royale, probably. I don't know.
That would be actually kind of sick. That would actually be kind of sick. Drop in his thrall. Whoa, by the elements.
Oh, God. Drop it as Deckard Cain.
Whoa,
Dropping his Diablo, just insta charge somebody.
I don't know. I hope it's not a battle royale game. Like cool.
Diablo 4.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if there's gonna be a Diablo 4 after some other post. But anyways.
Yeah, I don't know that we want to go into that because it is kind of a long discussion.
Yeah. This is not called Rodrim Trolls. The Tristram Trolls.
Oh, I like that. Oh man. But yeah, anyone that's interested in the Diablo thing, there was a post by Blizzard. Look it up on their BlizzCon website to give some clarification on Diablo stuff and that.
Pretty much. Don't get too excited. Get too excited.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Hey,
but...
Goon, we met Alan DeBerry last year in the stands.
Yeah.
In the seats for the HGC stuff that was happening.
Yeah. He was kind of just like randomly just sitting there, just kind of in his own. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty. It was like a pretty like. What are you doing here, dude?
it's kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, but when I first saw him, I was like, why does he look so sad?
Yeah, true. He did kind of like look stressed out or something, you know?
Yeah, I was just like, is he okay? Hey, appreciate what you're doing. And then here we are now, we're like, what the hell were you doing?
No, but he was a good guy when we got to talk to him. We actually got pictures with him. We got pictures with him. That's pretty cool.
I will say in the post, they didn't mention who was taking over. A person was mentioned, KO Milker. He just mentioned the guy. It's like, this guy's cool. He did a good job. He does a good job. But it wasn't like he's taking over. It was a very vague post and kind of just like, here's a bunch of nice stuff. Feel good about it. Exciting things coming. Yeah. That post pretty much summed up what HOTS has been the past couple years. Hey, there's some stuff coming. Be excited. Yeah, man, what a good time.
Yeah.
And then like we're kind of left like what's the detail? What's actually going to happen? When is this coming? What's happening? So I don't know if that's a fair comparison to make, but it was one that I noticed.
Yeah. Anything from you, Aurumis, on this? Did you get to meet him last year?
I did not. Yeah, unfortunate.
Okay, yeah, super cool guy. I mean,
yeah.
I'll
go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, like, everything I've seen from him I've seen him with interviews at Gamescom. This last Gamescom, there was stuff with MF Pally Time and a bunch of other people that were streaming at the event itself, flown out by Blizzard. And Alan would come in and just actually just talk with people on stream about what was going on and the details. Just like super cool dude. I mean, there was clearly an element of businessman going on. Like you could tell that's just how people are at that level. Like when you're a director, you kind of have to have kind of a business thing going, but still seemed relatively down to earth. Kind of cool dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he probably knew he was taking this position for a while now. Maybe working on that transition, the next person in line may be the one like pushing the changes that are coming currently. You never know if it's like they're behind the scenes knowing that this was happening. So maybe I'm excited for the future. Like, you never know. I mean, I've liked the direction we've been heading lately. Like, Team League's a relevant mode, so like you can queue for ranked. Like, I think people are liking that a little better. It's not great, but it's a little better, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not great, but yeah.
Yeah, hero reworks have been pretty good lately. I mean, the balance patches have been nice. I like the play style of a lot of the reworked heroes, so I like the direction it's heading, and maybe this was part of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the guy and whoever's taking over, the guy or girl in the background taking over, actually is the one that's been over the last few months leading these efforts of what's actually happening, and that would be a cool thing. That would be some good kind of reassurance that things are going to keep going.
That's hopeful.
Ideally, that's how you would want to do that, right? So when you're in a leadership position, yes, you are leading and guiding your subordinates to victory, whatever, to accomplish the mission. But at the same time, more importantly, you're training the guy that's supposed to replace you. You're training the person that's supposed to replace you. And if you're not doing that, if you're not giving them the opportunities, you're not mentoring them or whatever, once you do leave, there's this huge void that is just left that causes some issues. New person steps up, doesn't have any mentorship, any guidance, anything left behind for them to work with. They're kind of running around with their head cut off. They don't understand core leadership tenets and principles, things like that. And then you hit a rough patch, kind of the trial by fire. And then you do finally get over that. But by then, like when it comes to something like this, a product, you don't want that rocky phase. You just end up losing a bunch of potential revenue or whatever, right? So in that environment, a business environment, I would game development environment, you want to make sure that you're leading, you're allowing that person that space to be able to kind of do things like that. So I hope that's what's happening. I hope that's what's happening, and I hope that the person that takes over has a clear direction to where they want this game to go and how they want this game to be, along with, in conjunction with the feedback from the other developers and the community, kind of what we want, what we've been saying we want. And I hope they also have an emphasis on HGC stuff too, because I think that's very important.
Yes, and one day maybe we'll talk about all the problems there, but not today. But anyway, I think TLDR.
Damn it.
We can all agree, right. GOON for Game Director 2019. Oh.
My twit longer. Actually, I'm not gonna have a twit longer on my retirement. It's just gonna be a blue post on the Blizzard forums saying
blue post on the Blizzard forums. Oh my god. Anyway, all right, cool. Next, we got on the list here. The HGC Finals patch was finally announced. We talked about that last week. I think it was I don't think you were here last week, GOON. Were you? I forget.
Negative.
Yeah.
Negative.
So it was me and Aurumis. We were talking about, okay, like they really need to like announce this, like what's going on here, what patch is this going to be on, and they finally announced the BlizzCon patch will be the Mal'Ganis patch. So that includes the balance patch that happened last week, and then basically the PTR patch that is now live this week on Tuesday.
It's pretty much what we're playing on right now as of this week without Mal'Ganis.
Yeah. And thank goodness Mal'Ganis is disabled, because there are a ton of bugs involving Mal'Ganis right now. If you cleanse Mal'Ganis while his blind as a bat's going, you can see everything. If you drop an item as Mal'Ganis while blind as a bat is going, you can see everything within the radius of the item. Like, there's so many different problems going on. So it is actually super good that they made the right call. I feel like they made the right call there now that I'm seeing all these bugs. Not to mention, I don't know if you guys heard about this. You must have, like, I'm sure at least you have, GOON, but like the whole blind as a bat thing, we're kind of talking about it on Twitter and stuff. And then it got brought up. The Prismat talked about, Octalis's Prismat talked about, what was it? Containment disk. And he's like, oh yeah, I already looked at my like team's screens when I was in the containment disk.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at the screen next to you.
At LAN, I was already looking at my teammate's screen to make sure I was good to go when I was like blinded or like containment disc or ISO or whatever.
That's actually sick. Like, that's actually smart. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
I think it's smart. It's how are you going to solve that problem? What are you going to do? Put barriers between people's PCs?
No, you don't want to do that. This is a team game. It's very important to, especially in a LAN environment, in a setting like that where you're not playing in your normal position. You're not playing at a desk that you sit at every single day and play. You're not in your room. You're not in your house. You're not. Your kitchen isn't over there. Your dog isn't next to you. You're in an environment where it's totally just it's neutral. It's impersonal, and the only thing personal next that's around you is your teammate right next to you, and being able to kind of sense that you're there around your teammates is very important. So,
Yeah, no problem. So if I wanted to play devil's advocate, I guess I could say, well, they shouldn't be able to look at each other's screens. That's what comms is for, stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's like, if they could just tell me where to go, if they could just be like, up, down, whatever. It's like, why don't they just look at the screen at that point? I don't know. I get it. I get either side. I get both sides. But at the end of the day, what is Blizzard going to do to enforce that someone doesn't look at someone else's screen? It's clearly already happening and whatever. So who really knows? I don't know. Does anyone... Hey, look, anyone listening, watching, if you guys actually care about that, like, put it in the comments somewhere, message us on Discord. I'm actually interested to see everyone's opinion on this. I want to know, does anyone actually think it's wrong or right, both sides, anyone think it's wrong or right to look at another player's screen during a live HGC match at LAN, and then why? So if you have that opinion, please put it in Discord.
I don't know. If it's your teammate's screen, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the opponent's screen, right?
I'm just saying for anyone listening, whatever, I would love to hear pros and cons, both sides of it. So
yeah,
it's really weird. I don't see the difference in it. Like, you're getting the same information you'd normally be seeing. Like, you don't get anything extra.
No, that's not true. Not if you're blind.
Debatable.
I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want people to talk about this. That's why I brought this up.
It'd be what, the one instance of like a Dahaka ult.
I mean, okay, when the other instance, the Haka ult, when you get isolated.
Yeah, that'd be
people already say just walk left, come down,
left,
you're
up,
fine.
Up. Right, that's kind of what I was saying. But so
yeah, and I don't feel like that'd be any bit of an advantage. I feel like all the other times that this is referencing is like just normal throughout a game, and I don't know if it's like, are you really looking at a player's screen or turning and being like, what are you doing? Which is like a good possibility sometimes if you're heated.
Yeah, true. Like, what are you doing? Just like,
I mean, I would do it tons.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
With that said, I think that's pretty much all there is to talk about for this. Does anyone want to bring anything up for Heroes Share, Alan Dabiri, or the finals patch before we move on?
I don't know. I wanted to get into some Alan Dabiri stuff, but I mean,
what does that mean?
Do it up.
I know, like.
Okay, hold on. So I have an idea.
I want to hear it.
For the Alan Dabiri thing. All right, look. What on a scale from 1 to 10? How well do we think that Alan Dabiri did as game director during his time on HOTS?
4.
Aurumis, you start us off.
I'll give it a 6. I don't know if it's as much of a problem with him as it is the amount of resources he has at certain points. Like, sometimes the best intentions, you just can't go through with it if you're not given the right tools, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to make a steel sword using a piece of wood. Like, sorry, it's not going to break.
I know that we have the. I know that. Oh.
Sorry, I don't know why my phone keeps doing that.
I know that we have the other side of the argument coming from GOON right now. So let's go to GOON. What is?
Yeah.
I know the other side that you're gonna say.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think he did great, but I'm gonna be like, you want to know something? I'll pass off a little bit of the blame to maybe lack of resources, which was referenced sometimes in like, hey, we just can't get to it all. Like, there's not enough people.
Well, okay.
A lot of it's just like slow responses. I think it's really easy to go on Reddit and type something to somebody once or twice a night, you know? And I feel like even when they're home, like, search on the web, like, this is your passion, this should be your baby, and like treat it as such.
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit more better response time is like most of why I'm putting that down.
Okay, so there's a new meme going on right now, right? And it's people retweeting the tweet that Blizzard sent out last year. It was like, oh, up and coming. Like, if you read it today, you're like, oh, this is coming. But then you look at the date and it's like, oh, this was last year. and it was just like coming. Haunted Mines rework. Okay, that map is gone. It's not. It doesn't exist anymore. They took it out of the game. Right.
Well, supposedly a rework is still coming on that then at that point. But yeah.
Player based or performance based matchmaking. That lasted, as short as it did. Hero swaps. We get hero swaps. We get hero swaps in the custom games, but we can't do that in Hero League or in Team League. Yeah, great. Granted, in Team League you can pick in whatever order you want, but you still can't do it. What else? What else did we get that was that has stayed?
Voice comms, right?
Oh, we got voice comms. That people don't really use anymore. But that's beside that has nothing. I don't think that's a reflection of on the dev. That's just the community just not using it, right? But just those things. Yeah, you can say that we got some cool heroes, we got some cool balance and things like that. But we were getting that anyways throughout the year, every year. Like that's been happening every year since HOTS has come out. But the game fundamentally, is just. Like the core mechanic that you need for the game just isn't there. And that is what you need, especially if you want to make this game more robust, more interesting, and more engaging for the players. Give them more strategic options by being able to roll a hero swap in Hero League. That's huge. You start to allow the community to think about the game in a different way. I mean, some would argue that the community doesn't think about the game anyways. But I'm joking, kind of. But
are you?
I mean, that's all very important. You say these things are coming, but they say coming soon. TM asterisk, not really. I still don't think that's an excuse. Then don't advertise it. Don't tell us.
Well, that's their conundrum that Blizzard has always been dealing with because.
Yeah, why?
I mean, no, but hear me out. So this is the
no clans. They said clans and improved party finder system. Where's that at?
Okay, but hold on. So this is the canonical Blizzard problem, and this is why they almost never want to tell you what they're planning to do because people do this kind of stuff, right? They say, "Well, you said swaps. Where's swaps?" Like, that's why in the past, so before this last year, right, before that, they almost told us nothing about what was coming or what their plans were, right?
And the game died for it.
I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, right? So just keep that in mind. But in not this last year, but the year before that, there was almost zero communication between Blizzard and the community on, we acknowledge this is what you want, this is what we're planning on doing, and maybe this is when we're going to do it or something. Then they actually gave that to us this last year, but they were not able to deliver. Hence, also kind of like that kind of also backs up their idea of why they don't want to tell us anything, because now people are just memeing on them, making them feel bad. When at the end of the day, the dev team themselves may not be the ones to blame, or it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Then who's the one to blame? Then who's the one to blame? No, hang on. Who's the one to blame then? If it's not the dev team, and that's the hard part, right? Is who do you blame? I'm honestly not sure. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to say we're blaming somebody because I don't like to say that. But who takes accountability? Who takes accountability for?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the simple stuff putting swaps in Hero League, like we was saying, that's been implemented. That's a copy pasta of some code.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, you can play with it. And the thing is, people were complaining oh, you were complaining about the better matchmaking system, that they're slower games now. And we're that's because there's a dead mode and all of this. And then they throw Team League back in the mix.
Yeah.
And now queues are super fast. And it's see, what I feel we have all these good ideas, but they're just not trying them. It's so easy to revert code because you just keep the original, right? And you just can implement it back. There's no problem, I think, with them saying, okay, we're going to try doing this. And then if not, we'll throw it back instead of trying to fix something that's really, really broken. Just try what the community wants, because in these cases, it's turning out pretty well.
Well, man,
No, I see
So-
I see both sides, because someone does need to say, look, this is my fault, and I don't feel like we ever get that. And then I also never feel like no one is ever no one at that point, we're not ever to ever like go to someone and say why, why isn't this in here? Because we get all these things that are said, and then we go, okay, well, where is it, or whatever, and then it's like, oh, well, it's not our fault, it's not our fault, it's not our fault. Okay, well, who
and
do we
then
talk
when
to
it
then?
does, and then when it does come out, it's like it has missed the mark completely. Let's look at MMR decay, for example. Hey guys, here's MMR. You guys asked for it.
Yeah.
You guys got it. MMR decay. Wait, it doesn't apply to people that don't place in the seat. You mean to tell me they don't have to place and they never decay? But if I place, I'm punished by decay because I happen to play the game, but those that don't play the game aren't punished by that decay. What's happening here? Who thought of that? Who missed that detail?
No, I know, and that is actually a big problem. That is actually a huge problem in the game right now, because I know people that purposely didn't place until the end of last season, purposely, because they are like, should I even place? I don't play enough, and blah blah blah. So I'll just place, and then I know someone that's moving up. They've gone from like gold, the top of gold, all the way to mid diamond, because they've just placed every season.
Just by playing 10 games at the end of each season.
Yeah. So who do we? My question is, who do we go to for that? Who do we? I don't want to say blame, but who do we go? Hey, hello. Who? Hey guys. Hey, hello. I don't know who we talk to about this.
Alan DeBerry.
It has to be him then, right?
It has to. It has to. At the end of the day, he's the lead. Right, he's the leader. He's the one that is at the top. I know, people might argue, oh, that's not fair. What about so and so that maybe they're not doing their job or whatever? Well, then the chain of command is a thing, right? You've got your guy at the top. He's got those mid-level managers, those guys that are below him, that are those frontline supervisors that are out there making sure the job is getting done. And if that information, if that feedback isn't being delivered, if the expectations aren't being met, then we gotta think, okay, what's the solution? Maybe I didn't make myself clear enough, or maybe this guy just sucks and we just gotta let him go. I'm not saying that people suck at Blizzard. I'm hoping everybody is doing a great job. For as much as Blizzard says everyone does a great job, I'm assuming that everybody does a great job, right? Or else it wouldn't be there. But I don't know. Somebody's got to take accountability for that, and to see Alan DeBerry, I don't know. I take this leadership stuff a little personal, just because of like how I am, who I am, where I come from, and like what I do now. But it's just like, okay, cool. I hope the next guy has a higher level of maybe is willing to take that extreme ownership and really put this game to where it can be and where it needs to be, and to implement those things. Okay, these are the most important things. Maybe we do what Soken said. We stop dropping heroes and make this game better for a bit.
I mean, seriously, when I said that, I wasn't kidding. I seriously think the game needs that.
The cycle right now is new hero, 2 hero reworks, boom. New hero, 2 hero reworks, boom. Right? That's what's going on. We're not gonna, we're gonna get 2 new reworks here coming soon after this hero release. What if that was new hero, major core function feature implemented into the game, and then 2 reworks, and then another core feature, and then a new hero or something like that? You know what I mean? What if
That's what I've been saying, dude. That's been everyone's saying that what I'm saying is out of touch with reality, but I seriously think that'd
be good.
Way to go.
Well, okay, it was out of touch with reality because you were like, don't release any heroes.
Well, yeah, because that's what needs to be done. You need to focus on the game, bro. We don't even have swaps right now.
But what would be great is like a timeline of it too. Like, okay, like this is going to be over like a 4-month span. Like this is what you're getting, like a major game feature, an unannounced hero, like at around this time. And like it doesn't have to be like a strict date. Like throw it like within like a 2-week span, but let us know like, hey, like around this time, this is what you should like be expecting the game to develop into. Those people, this way, people are like, okay, like this is good, you know. I feel like that'd be nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
So okay, let me just put a little cap on this. All right. So
All right.
First, we can all agree. Thank you, Alan DeBerry, for everything you've done for the game. You did good things while you were the game director. All right, the good with the bad. You did some great things, and I hope that you can do great things wherever you're going. As for the new person, please just be dedicated to HOTS. Please don't use this role. Don't use this role to jump to another ship. Like, I'm not saying that's what anyone else did, but that's kind of how I feel like it's been going. We've had every year someone jumping ship. I want a game director that is hardcore HOTS. Literally only plays HOTS.
HOTS feels like baby's first game director lead or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I want someone that is literally into the game, as much into the game as we are. We do stuff out of our own time. We don't get really paid for a lot of the stuff we do in the scene. I want to see that guy or girl, whoever it is, just everything, all of their heart and soul into that job. I want to see their passion. I want to see a fireside, game director fireside, where they just come and talk to us every week on the progress of the game, or like every month or something.
Look at Jeff Kaplan team.
Yeah, you know? That's what I was just gonna say. That's his baby.
Like you can tell, like he takes a lot of pride into that. Granted, he probably does get a lot more resources from Blizzard for Overwatch, but like he does those, hi guys, this is Jeff from the Overwatch team, and we're gonna talk about all the new reworks that are coming. And he does this every so often, like,
and he'll just sit down.
Yeah, and he'll sit there, and he makes memes. Anyways. But yeah.
So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say.
Sure.
To end this and to end this section of the news. And with that said,
no flame.
No flame. None of this, by the way, just to clarify, none of this was meant as flame. Purely just how we feel as being passionate HOTS nerds. This is the game that literally all three of us, we spend night and day thinking about this game, and this is pretty much all we do. So that's coming from just passionate love for the game, where we want the game to be. So there's no flame involved. With that said,
my HOTS logs hours scare me. So
yeah,
trust me, I like it.
All right, let's get into the Troll in the Nexus.
We're gonna have a good time.
All right, so the latest thing released was the PTR patch that went live last Monday and is now, or went to the PTR last Monday and is now live this Tuesday. There haven't really been any changes. We kind of already talked about, Aurumis and I talked about last week, the kit of Mal'Ganis, and where we thought things were gonna fall in terms of like the choices and whatnot for ultimates, and just his general kit, how he's gonna play out. Is he gonna be a main tank? Is he gonna be an offlaner? And we had some pretty strong arguments for being a main tank. We had pretty strong arguments for Carrion Swarm being kind of the go-to ult as of that time. Goon, you played a lot of this hero. I have not had a chance to play it. Have you had a chance to play it, Aurumis?
I had one game on him, but nothing extensive.
Okay. So. Goon has actually played quite a bit. I played with him for some of those games.
The spooky man, dude. That's... Yeah. I love me this spooky man. I think he's really fun. I feel he's way more dynamic than other tanks because I feel like he plays around the maps. He's more focused on the map play. And how do I explain that? So a lot of tanks, you kind of hide off. You kind of hide outside of vision, try to stop a rotation and things like that, and get a Stormbolt out, harass, or an ETC power slide or something like that. But I feel like Mal'Ganis is one of those heroes where you deliberately are just off the map, pretty much at all times, lurking and just like setting stuff up. And just harassing and out trading those people that you happen to catch in rotation. For example, right now, I happened to play him on Garden of Terror on Quick Match the other day, and like I felt so powerful on that map with Mal'Ganis because of how many bushes and little lanes and little nooks and crannies there are for him to just lurk in and just pounce.
For anyone wondering exactly what Goon is referring to, there's a talent at level 7 called Nightmare Fuel, where basic attacks deal 30% more damage for 4 seconds after leaving a bush.
Well, either you're in a bush or leaving the bush. So
while or after.
And if they're asleep, they take another 150% damage.
125.
Another 125% damage from your auto attacks. So pretty much, and not just because of that talent, but just because of the way his kit works, right? So you kind of just sit in a bush and you're lurking. A guy kind of overextends. You come out. You press your E. You press your nightmare. I forget what it's called. The sleep ability. You come out. You put the person to sleep. And then you just start wailing on him with that person that's in the lane with you now. Like there's now 2 of you on that lane. Yeah, that could have been a power slide. Yeah, that could have been a Murd and Stormbolt or something like that. But just the way you're able to come flying out, set that up, and actually, like as a tank, deal pretty okay damage on somebody.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's really cool. On Curse Hollow, there's that little bush in between, like that's in the next to where the tribute spawn that everybody kind of hides in when people are funneling in through that little choke. I was sitting there as Mal'Ganis. I didn't even come out that bush. I just stayed in the bush and I pressed E and I just sat there and everybody just walked into me and fell asleep. And then my Jaina is able to drop a 4-man blizzard on them and just chunk them all out. That is huge.
Beautiful.
And it's like, okay, I just put them to sleep. We just put out a bunch of damage, and my character can still get out. It's not like ETC Power Slide where you power slide through somebody, and then you're on the other side of them, and you kind of have to walk around. Like, you can put them to sleep Leoric style, come back around, and then be out of it. Or use your Qs to get back into the position you need to be. And while you're doing that, like you can sleep through them, end up on the other side of them, and then use your Qs to go back towards your team. And in doing so, you're dealing damage and you're stunning people at the end of that combo. So it's just like this insane CC, this insane sustain that he's capable of. And it's pretty cool. And a lot of people kind of just like, he's just in the lane. He's like, all right, I'm going in. Q, Q, Q. All right, E. And it's just like, okay, well, now this Diablo is going to body you. Now this Arthas is going to body you. Now that, like... You gotta play the element of surprise.
Yeah, and I played against so many Mal'Ganises and played with them, like in Hero League. He's just powerful. Like, I don't know. I feel like as people are getting better too with him and kind of figuring out the talents, I feel like he's gonna be getting nerfed at some point in the near future.
He has some very, very what's the word I'm looking for? He has some very diverse talent.
Yeah,
that's
very.
Do a little bit of everything.
He's pretty flexible. For example, at level 1, you can go with the block. I think the block at level 1, it's a potentially infinitely stacking block that is really good against obviously slower auto attackers, right? That are maybe in melee range, like maybe like the Thralls, the Artanis, the hell, Muradin or Leoric even. You kind of just walk into that melee clump, you press that armor, and then you start hitting everybody, healing, and you're taking less damage during that time because you have the armor on top of the blocks, on top of that, plus the healing. Like, you're tanky as fuck. It's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. 50 physical armor. That's a lot.
Yeah, 50 physical armor, infinitely stacking, potentially, right? Like, that potential, is it going to happen? Like, are you going to get 1,000,000 stacks before somebody audio tech? No, but, you know, I've had up to 9, you know, and then you go into a team fight, and, you know, the Rainer, the Artanis, and the Thrall hit me, and it's just like, that's only 3 right off the bat. Like, I just took their initial, like, wave of damage. Like, Artanis just used his W on me, and Thrall's using his Wind Fury, and I'm just surviving. And then in that time, they're focusing me. My teammate is able to put the damage onto them and outtrade. He's got a talents where you can slow people after they slept. I think that's really good for sustained damage. Like you sleep, you put them all to sleep. They're slowed by 30% for 2.5 seconds. That allows your Jimmy Raynor or your Tychus or whatever to kind of kite somebody down or chase them, run them down a little bit. Or the increased sleep duration. If you want, for example, for me, I took the increased sleep duration when Soken was chroming the other day because maybe he needed that extra second to get that W up, or that extra second to kind of get in position to line up that combo, or whatever the case may be. Right? Put him to sleep. Now we've ensured maximum value.
That was Boom. Brutal, dude. I'd be like, okay, my W's ready, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm going in, and then I would have so much time. I had so much time to line everything up. It felt so easy. It was
I would
actually
go
kind of
in.
crazy.
I would just I'm like hiding off to the side. I'm like, you ready? All right, here I come.
Ooh.
You're all asleep, Freddy Krueger, man. Just got you. And then the Chromie just obliterates somebody. But yeah, his Carrion Swarm is really. I thought the healing, the Drain Life or whatever was going to be the go-to talent, but the Carrion Swarm allows you to do so many different things. Like
it's kind of hard to know when to use it. I noticed that you were having a hard time initially figuring out when to use Carrion Swarm. Like you would, there was one time you used it like the end of a Blind as a Bat. Instead of just pressing Q. It's kind of hard to tell, but at this point, when the best time is. But
yeah, it's like I can use it to finish. I can use it like, okay, I just ate this huge like CC chain. Let me carry the swarm and heal myself back up, and then come out of that, and do whatever I gotta do. I use it at the end of a Blind as a Bat. I did my damage with Blind as a Bat. Came out, went right into Carrion Swarm, and then I kind of kept going. You're like this unstoppable force that just nobody can touch you, and then you come out with like almost full health. I dive forts with it. You can. Oh, I'm body blocked on the other side of the enemy team, and I don't have any more abilities. Carrion Swarm, I'm back on the other side.
Yep,
it's really cool. He's so fun. Supports have always been my favorite. I love supports the most, but tanks have always been like right there second. Like. And this guy is he's fun. He's a lot of fun. But I'm excited.
For me is that the like you're saying, the talents are so diverse that your playstyle can change significantly between games. That's how you know a hero is designed well. That's how you know, is because you can go into one game and say, I'm going to play it this way, and then you go into another game and say, I'm going to play it this way, and then actually make it work. That's the difference. Making it work. Not just saying, oh, I'm releasing a URL, and they can play an offlane or they can play a tank. But then you don't have the talents or the means to actually play man tank. Whereas,
or some talents are just so broken that they're just forced to be played a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now anyway. This is how I feel. And my initial thoughts, he feels pretty robust. I think he can be a solo laner in the way that Tyrael's a solo laner. But like his wave clear is not very good. But the way he trades up on people is really good. So you can kind of just brawl with somebody in the lane for an extended period of time and kind of wear them out and win that way. But you're not going to be double soaking at any point in the game with him. Yeah, maybe you can go up and kind of break off and grab a wave of soak somewhere, but ideally you're going to want them close, in the rotations somewhere with like a spooky, like a carry. Ooh, imagine a Mal'Ganis carrion or something like that, just like flying out of bushes together and shit. That's
dude. He has so many seemingly good combos, just of heroes that he can play well with. One of them that was in your game that I wasn't in, I think I was watching you play, was a Mal'Ganis Kel'Thuzad, and you literally told the guy, you're like, wait till I sleep them, and then you get free stacks. And he didn't listen to you.
I was like, just watch me. I would get like 3-4 man sleeps on Braxis, and then he would just like, I'm gonna chain this siege giant.
It was actually pretty bad. It was actually kind of bad, that game. But the potential is there that Kel'Thuzad can actually be back and a meta hero if you pair it with a Mal'Ganis. Could be kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes Raynor even stronger with his level 1 executioner
Ace in
talent.
the hole, yeah.
Ace in the hole, like boom, there you go. There are talents also. There are other synergies as well. Like for example, the Nightmare Fuel, the one where you're like, where they're either asleep or you come out of a bush or both, and you deal extra damage. If there's an Ana on your team, she can put somebody to sleep, or Decker Kane can put somebody to sleep, and you're dealing more damage. Like it doesn't have the sleep doesn't have to be from you. It could be from anybody else.
Ooh, snap!
So,
I bet you guys didn't think about that, did ya? Well, now you know.
Oh, now you know. Now you know. But there's also there's obvious synergies between Ana and him. The biotic grenade is really strong with him. The nano boost on him when you got blind as a bat, bro,
dude.
you were just like. Feels good. It feels good. Feels good. But yeah, great hero. I enjoy him. Like after playing him, I'm like maybe I become a tank main because.
Well, you say that until he gets banned or taken, and then you're like, back to supports, you know.
Yeah. Best supporter in my Ev or something. Yeah. But it's fun.
Yeah,
that's it.
I haven't played him myself. I'm not much of a tank player. I kind of wanted to see what the synergies were on the assassin side. Some of the ones that we got to see were Chromie,
Greymane,
Kel'Thuzad. Greymane is pretty good.
Greymane was okay, right? It wasn't like incredible, but it wasn't like bad. It was just like Greymane. It was just like Greymane is a good hero.
Yeah, true. Just generally, you know.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention, like when I'm playing, maybe this is something that you guys can try out on your own as well. Like I kind of look at the kit, kind of see what they do, and people are like, oh, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna do this, but I always try to like immerse myself in how this hero, this character would be. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft. I don't know anything about Warcraft or Mal'Ganis or whatever. I just know that like he is scary looking. He puts people to sleep and deals damage to them and he just life sucks. He's like a vampire. Like scary. That's so I'm like, I'm just gonna be a spooky man just put kids to sleep and spook them. Like that's what I want to do. And I was gonna say put kids to sleep and suck them. That just sounds weird.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that.
That sounds weird.
Oh my god.
But like I do that with like a lot of other heroes. Like with Greymane, I'm like, okay, I'm like this in human form. I'm just like finesse man, like this gentleman who's shooting you from afar, and then I'm a wolf and I'm gonna go in and kill you and destroy you and unleash my pain on you.
The blood, the blood.
Yeah, and then with Kerosene, depending on how I'm building, I'm either like this like transcendent monk that's protecting my allies, or monk that's like fighting evil or something like that, going in deep. That's how I try to like. I guess I try to role play essentially when it comes to these heroes. And it's something that you guys can try out.
But that's honestly when the role play, like the mental aspect of how you see a hero playing is how it ends up playing out. It feels so good. When I play Greymane and I get a good go for the throat and I execute someone, I'm just like, I just feel so powerful, dude. It feels so good.
Yeah, but I will say there are some heroes where I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing because this hero is just bad. I mean, I'll say that about Chromie. Gazlo.
Chromie was that hero that I played that night when we were playing. It was like kind of fun. It was whatever. Like we were winning with it and stuff, which is always fun to win and whatever. But like, it didn't feel good to me. It didn't feel like I was anyone in the game, in the WoW or in the Blizzard universes.
You were just like, I'm just pressing buttons and people's life bars are deleting.
No, I was just like, I'm gonna wait for a sleep. Okay, all right. That's goodbye. You're dead now.
Some heroes are like that for sure. Like for me, Kel'Thas. When I'm playing Kel'Thas, I just feel like this final boss in like an anime or something like that. Just like starting off, it's like, oh, hello, yes, I know. Oh, your world is upside down. Whatever.
Like,
and then by the late game, you're like, haha, actually, this is who I really am. Yeah. Boom, boom, fire and destruction and
ignite.
Anyways, that's it.
Yeah. What about you, Armis? Do you have any final words on this?
Yeah, he's really good. I really have to buy him. I haven't done it yet. And then
Oh shoot.
just play him a bunch. I've just been scrimming and coaching constantly. I haven't really got to play much this week, the past 3 days.
Yeah.
So I got to get more.
Gotcha. Let's see. I mean, honestly, I was going to go into more details about the specific stuff, but we kind of already did that last week. The one thing I will say is the Ana change. Some people are actually kind of upset. So this is kind of a mixture of the live patch discussion and the live patch and the Mal'Ganis discussion that we've been having. So the one thing I'll say about Ana change, so healing darts now pierce targets at full health. So what that means is you can't do cool things with the level 13 talents anymore. So the level 13 talents for Ana, as far as I remember, and you can correct me, Goon, if I'm wrong, you have the speed one where like a healing dart gives speed and all that stuff. And you could use that on a hero that was full health to give them movement speed. You could do cool little tricks like that. Now, if they're full health, you can't do that because it'll pierce them going to the next hero. And if it hits another hero, okay, cool, they'll get the movement speed. But maybe you didn't want them to have the movement speed. Maybe you weren't actually trying to do anything for them at that time or something. Or like, what if you're trying to reach someone behind someone else, and the guy in front of you looks like he's full HP, but actually he's minus 1 HP. So you heal a guy that's 1 HP instead, thinking you're going to heal the other guy. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like, as much as theoretically this seemed like a good change back in the day when people brought this up, I'm not so sure anymore. Have you had a chance to play with this yet?
I have not, and I honestly forgot about that. I'm gonna have to try it out. I played Ana this past week in Hero League, and I assumed it was already live, but no, it was right before the change happened. So
yeah, because when the balance patch and the PTR patch go out at the same time, sometimes you'll read both the notes and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think the PTR patch one is in this one," like not thinking that it, not knowing that it isn't. But yeah, so now it's live, so now you guys can mess around with that out there, all the listeners and whatnot. Lots of new stuff involving Mal'Ganis and Halloween and emoji packs and whatnot. And yeah, let's see. That's pretty much it. Anything anyone wants to say about this before we move on?
I mean, maybe not about this, but it was just a random thought that kind of came into my head. Do you guys ever go back and kind of just like play random heroes that used to be good that people don't play anymore for whatever reason because they got nerfed or maybe they just
I had this conversation with you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was the one that told you this. That's when you played Rhaegar, and it was the greatest time.
Yeah, but I also like recently I played Ragnaros, and like I fed with him, but I was like, man, he actually feels like kind of strong, like in against some of these like melee comps and stuff like that.
People forget.
Like, are there heroes like that for you guys that you go back to, or is there somebody that you want to go back and kind of play around with, dick around with, and see if like they're good? Like, for example, Lunara is one that comes to mind for me right now. Maybe not so much in the double support stuff, maybe or whatever, but
blow your mind in about 10 seconds.
But I mean,
what
do you got?
Just say it.
Just say it.
What is it?
Samura.
Oh,
I already knew he was good.
Wait, Samura?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Samura. He's your next. He's the next god hero. I'm telling you.
I already know. I don't even go there. I already know. Once people learn how to play him,
yeah,
bro.
His games aren't that high because it takes a lot of micro, a lot of knowledge about what his stuff does and what talents to pick and whatever.
He's so good.
But you've seen slowly and surely people in Masters picking up Samuro and they're bodying. I mean, I saw literally a Samuro and a clone, just those two alone, just critical on like a Li Ming or something for like 75% of his health was like gone and he was like full health. So I've seen some pretty insane stuff with Samuro as well. The one hero for me I kind of want to revisit is Gul'dan. As much as he's still good and whatever, I've seen some Gul'dan games when I was casting like the Bush League stuff and all that. I still I've kind of let go of him for a long time. He
kind of creeps up when he's always just there, right? And like people take him, he loses. People take him and he wins. But it's like the games that he wins, it's like, man, that looks really good. Like he just does a lot of damage, and his people just forget about Horrify. Horrify just sets up so many things and just thwarts so many things. Oh man, maybe that's one guy I should play with.
Yeah,
some more.
and the thing is though, like I'm always hesitant because I've had so many bad experiences playing Gul'dan. I feel like sometimes I can't get a break. Like I'm playing sometimes when I used to play in more coordinated settings, I was getting targeted. I would just get destroyed and die.
Do you think maybe that's like maybe? Do you feel like maybe you are missing something? Like maybe there's something that you're not thinking about or you're not considering.
I thought so at first, but after how many games I used to play, I mean, he's like on my top heroes played. You know, he's high up there. I played him for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to revisit him and see how I feel. I want to play some like unranked games or something with him and just kind of mess around, and I don't know. Maybe I'll mess around with not taking Hunger for Power at 7 or whatever that one is and try like.
Yeah, I saw Schizo taking the Bound by Shadow, I think this was called, the cooldown reduction on corruption.
Yeah.
Whenever you hit a Fell Flame, like that actually might. Like, yeah, you're missing out on a lot of damage at the end. Potential damage because, you know, you finish your corruption, you get the bounce backs and stuff. Like, that deals a lot of damage, but I feel like you probably just put out just more damage over time. You put out a lot of damage over time if you Fell Flames are hitting consistently, right? So then you're putting out more corruptions, whereas you get more burst, so to speak, with Hunger for Power. Maybe try it out.
I mean, I just want to try it. I'm pretty sure Hunger for Power is just kind of really good, but the problem is when you're in an uncoordinated setting, you may need the healing. You may need that extra healing that you're getting denied from Hunger for Power.
Yeah. Well, Schizo brings up a good point in chat here. You know, you only take power amp because it increases wave clear.
I don't agree with that at all.
But yes, like you deal more damage, and yes, you increase more wave clear. But he does have a point with the Johanna Maiev comp. You don't really need more wave clear. But
that makes sense more than anything. But
yeah,
that percentage, that damage is just universally amazing. Just really, really good in coordinated play. I would actually have argued the opposite, that in that coordinated setting, it doesn't matter wave clear or anything like that. You should choose Hunger for Power because you actually have the ability to get peel. You have actually the ability for someone to protect you. Whereas in Hero League, I feel like I'm always by myself without anyone to protect me, and I'm like scared all the time. Just like, who's gonna jump on me now? You know, like.
Yeah,
but
I've been seeing some more ETCs coming out from time to time. He has a lot of control that people forget about, like his stun, the stun that he provides. Like when it hits you, you're like, ooh, that kind of hurt. Like, this kind of sucks to get stunned by, right? And then kind of get locked down, get moved around a bit, especially when you have heroes that want to be moving around in team fights or whatever. ETC kind of just stops that. Who else? Yeah, I don't know. I played Ragnaros and I was just like, he's fun. I just feel strong by the end of the game. I'm just like, whoa, you know.
Yeah. I was going to go into the Hero Report, but honestly, the Hero League Report, but honestly, we kind of already talked about that because our Team League experiences with Mal'Ganis and the combos kind of already touched on that. I mean, unless there's anything you wanted to talk about specifically relating to like lessons you learned this week, Aurumis.
About in Hero League?
Yeah, if there's anything anything that the listeners you feel like they need to hear from you, then we will do it.
Ooh, nothing great from Hero League this week, honestly. It's been a slow week. I've been scrimming too much, so
all right, gotcha.
I don't have much.
Yeah, we're gonna skip Hero League Report this week. We kind of already touched on what Goon and I, the combos we had kind of messed around with. So that's pretty much it. With that said, I'm going to go into the sign off. Thank you all for listening to the Nexus Trolls, a Heroes of the Storm podcast, which we stream live on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/trollsgg, every week on Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Aurumis, my brother, where can the people find you?
You can find me at GG_Aurumis on Twitter. You can find me on Discord at GGAurumis. You can find me in the Trolls Discord. I give you an invite to mine, anything. I'm also available for coaching on Gamer Sensei. Feel free to contact me at any time regarding questions for coaching. You can also visit my Gamer Sensei link with either the link that me or Soken gave you right there. And yeah, check it out. I'll do individual or team. It's all the same price. Go over replays, play some games. It'll be a good time. So
Cool. And yeah, there's lots of good reviews and a lot of good stuff has come out of the coaching RMS is given, so you can definitely trust that he is good.
I got one small update on some coaching stuff that might like to hear. I decided to delve into learning some video editing and stuff like that. So I plan on, after BlizzCon, creating a schedule for content release based on just like coaching lessons and doing a bunch of like replay analysis stuff.
Nice.
So,
cool. Yes.
There will be more coaching things to come. I'll be talking to Dor soon, hopefully, to see if we could put it on the Trolls website too.
Ooh, baby, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
So, eyes and ears open.
Sounds good. What about you, Goon? Where can people find you at?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at GOONHOTS, GOONHOTS. You can follow me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/GOONHOTS. Man, I was supposed to be streaming more this week, but like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I've been doing more IRL stuff, like fixing my car and whatnot. I got to make sure I'm ready to go for BlizzCon. I'm driving to BlizzCon, so I got to make sure my car's in good order. Yeah, Twitch, Twitter, here on the Nexus Trolls. We just did our Bush League finals this past week on Monday, where Gaddy and the Jets took the championship. That was a lot of fun.
3-2. It went to game 5.
Yeah. I will be casting more. Bush League right now, obviously, it's the off season for Bush League. We'll figure out what we want to do next season, but I will be doing more casting on Heroes Lounge for North America. I got accepted to do that. Probably some main channel stuff as well as on my own channel as well. But yeah, follow me, chat with me. I'm always around. Talk about anything, honestly. Like, talk about anything with me. I'm okay with it. With that being said, also, I challenge everyone out there that no matter where you're at in your life, good or bad, whatever, any situation that you find yourself in, ask yourself, what can I do to be better, faster, stronger, whatever? How am I going to change this situation that I'm for it to be better? If you're in a good situation, cool, make it better. If you're in a bad situation, make it better. All of that is reliant on you. It's easy to kind of make excuses and say, oh, it's because of whatever, where I live or that person, or take control, own it, and challenge yourself to be better.
Awesome. As for me, people can find me on Twitter at SokenGLHF, SOKENGLHF. I also stream to twitch.tv/Soken Gaming, SOKEN Gaming. And just hit me up on any of the Discords. I'm in Goon's Discord. I'm in the Trolls Discord. If you need anything from me, feel free to ask me, as well as Goon or Aurumis, any questions that you may have. I just recently helped out one of I don't know that he actually watches the Nexus Trolls, but he's in the Gankpush Squad Discord and all that. So one of the guys, Casey Court, actually asked me about heroes he could play to get out of bronze. So I hooked him up with some heroes for each role that I thought could help him get out of bronze. If you have any questions like that, feel free to hit any of us. We will all be able to help you with those types of questions. And something I want to plug real quick is the HOTS pugs. So basically, we do. Can you explain it, Goon? You're better explaining it than me.
So the Hots Pugs, pretty much it's our own Discord server. You can join up, meet up with other community members from Trolls, Gangquist Squad, Nexus Commentaries, your friends, anybody that wants to join in can hop on in. We have our own MMR tracking system in the Discord, so you kind of go in, you ready up. The bot kind of puts everybody into a lobby, so to speak, and says, "All right, these are the teams based on everyone's MMR. Everybody starts off with the same MMR." And then you guys play against each other, and you guys keep doing that, and keep doing that, and keep doing that. And then over time, we have our own ladder as well for tiers for different MMRs, things like that. And it's a good way to meet new people, meet new potential Bush League teammates, things like that, and help you get away from sometimes the Hero League, right? Sometimes you don't want to get matched up with that guy, that girl, whoever that is just like throwing all your games. You get stuck with them all the time. And this is a good way to escape that. So join it. We were trying to do them every weekend, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, all the way up until whenever, until people, call it a night. But join it and get involved. Get involved.
All right. I put the link in chat for the Discord for the Pugs. So click on that link if you want to get into the Discord, and then also you can hit any of us up if you need a link to that Discord as well. All right, yeah. And with that said, if you enjoyed the show, you can support us in any variety of ways. Here on Twitch, you can support us with a Tier 1 subscription or through Amazon Twitch Prime subscription. You can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you happen to find your podcasts online. Of course, as I discussed in the early on in the podcast, Patreon is the best way to support us here. But with that said, any kind of word of mouth, any kind of follows, any kind of anything that you guys can give us, always much appreciated, and gives us motivation to continue giving you quality content every week. Speaking of Patreon, huge shout out and thanks to our chieftains Preston and Eric F, and our Wart Chiefs Super Dave, Steel Condor, and Fringe Average. Love you guys. Thank you guys, all of you for the support. We really do appreciate it. You can visit our website, trolls.gg/TheNexusTrolls. To watch any of these shows, past or present, along with the past video streams, can be found on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/TrollsGG. I actually need to see if that C is necessary. I'll check that out later. I keep saying that. For announcements about the show, huh?
It is.
Oh, okay. For announcements about the show and general Heroes news, follow us on Twitter at TheNexusTrolls. That's where we announce all the shows when they go live and whatnot, and any other stuff. If you want to hang out with us in the Trolls community in game, /join /TrollsGG in the game itself to join our channel, or join our Discord, trolls.gg/Discord. And finally, have any business contact type of thing you need to get in contact with us about, hit us up on our email, TheNexusTrolls@trolls.gg. Thank you guys, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much for the support and everything that you guys do. That's it for us, and we shall see you next time.
Peace out, guys.
Catch you later. Thanks everybody for watching.